All right, Jacob Cordero, Cookware Junkies. We got meat tenderizers on the agenda for you today. We'll be going through and doing some chicken fried steak. We'll be doing chicken piccata. So we've got some different types and styles of tenderizers. We wanted to pretty much round up all the top sellers and see which ones perform better than another. We've got the ones that are basically designed for beef meat tenderizing, so we'll be using these ones that are more of the spike ones on the chicken fried steak, and we'll be using the hammer style ones or the pounders for the chicken piccata to flatten it out. And some of them range in the area of right around $55, while others are right around $10 to $15. So we want to see if more money actually gets you better results. And we'll be reporting that back to you here as soon as we get back in after the chicken fried steak and the chicken piccata.
The whole point of the meat tenderizer is that you're going to take a tough piece of meat, something that's got really big tough muscle fibers, and you're going to mechanically break those down by whacking them with something either heavy or spiky or maybe both. And the idea is you're going to take a tough piece of meat and turn it into a tender piece of meat. We've also got the flat ones here, where the idea is that you're going to take a piece of meat that could be, tender or not, but you're going to turn it into a much thinner, more even piece of meat that you can cook easy and fast. We've got ones that you grab from overhead and whack down with. We've got ones that are kind of like a hammer that you wallop like that. We've got this guy over here that you turn the crank and it turns those spikes in a really gnarly, nasty sort of way. And then we've got the ones that just look amazing, where you push down on them and you have these spring-loaded needles that go in and pierce the meat. Some problems on some of these. The hammers here were less useful than I would have hoped. Some of these have these tiny little spikes, and I think the weirdest thing anyone said all day, or is likely to, the meat is getting stuck in the spikes.
Right.
So where the spikes are really, really small, the meat gets stuck in them, you wind up with sort of a flat surface, and it doesn't actually penetrate the meat enough to really get in there and get it tender. Other problems we ran into is the shape of the handle. Like, say, the KitchenAid here has this handle that's really awkwardly big while the mallet is itself really light, so you got to give it a really good whack while trying to hang on to an uncomfortable handle. Cleaning was an issue on some of these. You were having real trouble with that Sportsman, right?
Yeah, as well as the one where, again, the meat got stuck in there, right?
Yeah, the meat gets stuck in the spikes.
Yeah, and so this one, the KitchenAid was really rough, and then I had the chance to get to clean this one, which comes apart in about 3 different parts. While you're trying to clean it, you're also trying to roll it to get the meat out. It can't go in the dishwasher, so that was the one that was really problematic to clean.
Yeah. These look like they were going to be a real problem because there's no way you're getting in to clean those middle spikes, but they do go in the dishwasher on the top rack, and they came out nice and clean, so that was a win. So when you're looking for a winner, one that's really good is the leaf heart here. This is reversible. It's got both a flat side and a spike side. This comes off and screws back together. This worked really, really well, like surprisingly well. It just made short work of it of the meat on both flat and spike sides.
Yeah.
Has one major downside though. It costs $55. And this is not, I cannot say that this is worth $55 unless you're using this all the time and you really want something for both pounding and tenderizing.
But I must say, it was one strange thing when I saw you using that one, and then we used this one, actually we used this one right before that one.
Yeah.
And it was strange.
Yeah, because they look about the same, they're about the same size, they weigh about the same amount, but the leaf heart worked way better than the Norpro, and I don't understand why. It must just have something to do with the shape or the edge or something.
Or the extra $20, $30.
That extra weight of $20 or $30 propelled my hand so much farther.
Right.
But it's really good, but I can't say it's worth the money.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that means I don't really like any of the combo ones that can do both. unless you want to spend the 55.
Well, yeah, and it was hard to, like really justify, the size of those, threads, needles coming in were just not enough.
Yeah.
And then the OXO just was weird all the way around when I saw you using that.
Yeah,
the angle on that one.
Yeah, the OXO has a weird angle, so when it comes down, it just digs in at the bottom edge here, and you just hit with this face, so you have to do a weird thing where you come down on a strange angle.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. OXO is usually pretty good, and they just weren't this time around.
Yeah, and so overall, I mean, I think the ones that we liked best were...
Yeah, for the flats, I like the Norpro with the offset handle here. This gives a good solid whack. It's $20. It did a great job of flattening out the chicken breast. The only thing is it's pretty big, and it does one job, but it does it well.
Yeah.
On the blade tenderizer side, the Jacquard worked really well. It really did a good job of tenderizing that tough bottom round. It went super fast because it just is so much bigger than the OXO
Yeah, it's
here.
got that size.
Yeah, the OXO worked great. It's just small, so you had to use it like 3 times as much as the Jacquard.
Yeah.
But these did a great job on the bottom round.
Yeah,
they're both
clean.
Yeah, they both came up clean, and they're both $20. I'd say the Jacquard's better because it's bigger, but they're both really good options.
Yeah.
So I'd say your winners are the Norpro offset meat pounder and either the Jacquard or the OXO needle tenderizer.
Yeah, and both coming in right at the same price, right? Like
Yeah,
20
and
bucks.
all 3 of these are about $20.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Although, I mean, I guess if you're going to
for the 20 bucks.
if you really want to buy both, maybe you should wind up getting the leaf hard. I mean, that's it's 55 instead of 40, which is not crazy.
Yeah, and it's got the really deep spikes.
Yeah, it's got the really deep spikes that really did a number on that round.
So I think the only knock on this one when we had to clean it was that extra ring. There's that third ring piece in there that you got to make sure you don't lose, and it's made out of plastic, so you might want to be a little delicate with that. And for 55 bucks, I hate to have.
At a Cadillac price, I don't feel great about the whole thing depending on this little plastic ring that feels like it's going to break.
Right. So.
Or going to get lost, and it loves to fall off. I mean, take that away, and this would have done pretty much everything except not cost too much.
Yeah. Yeah, and so were there any real big surprises throughout, or?
Well, the one that worked completely different from everything else was the Sportsman here, where these, even just walloping on it real good with a spike mallet, did a reasonable job of flattening and tenderizing. The Sportsman, we cranked it through and it absolutely pulverized that piece of meat.
So it's effective.
Oh, it was extremely effective, and we were left with something that sort of tasted like beef.
Yeah.
It was just so broken down. It was almost hamburger.
Right. Well, I mean, at least it soaked up a lot of that fat and stuff when we did the chicken fried steak.
So the other ones tasted like steak. That one tasted like fried.
Yeah. So that was awesome, but not what we were going for.
So I'm sure there's somebody out there who really wants that crank style one to just pulverize like tough game or something.
Yeah, and you don't get a choice.
You don't get a choice. It works one way and it does it.
Right. All right, well, that's it for Cookware Junkies, and if you like the video, subscribe, like, follow us for more videos, and we'll hope you get some value from this. Nice and sharp for tenderizing, and we'll be pounding the chicken.
Hey, I made it through 3,000 words without mentioning whacking it once.
Yeah, and I had to cut it out of the video. It's like, oh man. All right, Jacob Cordero, Cookware Junkies.